you are exactly where you are when you are supposed to be. Well, all right. How's it going? I have had an awesome day. Hope yours has been amazing too. If this is your first time ever finding this channel or seeing one of these videos, hi, I'm Nikolai, it's good to meet you. And this is my ride-along series. Basically what happens in this is I drive somewhere and tell you my thoughts. And I do, in fact, have thoughts. My thoughts today require a little bit of a story. So some of you know I am also a paramedic. I have an active license, and I've been licensed since 2012, so it's been a couple of years. In this process, I have been able to work in several different places, had a lot of amazing experiences, a lot of good exposure. It's been a really good journey. One of those things that I got to do was work in an ER. And I don't know if you've ever worked in an ambulance. The ambulance is fun, but everything is very short-lived. You know, you don't get to see the outcome of the patient, where it goes from there. You do get some fun calls. You get some very unfortunate calls as well. So, you know, it's always a spectrum. In the ER, you get the same concept, but you do get to see what happens with the patients and where they go and some of the advanced procedures. So I personally really enjoyed working in the ER. I worked at night shift, and on night shift, you get kind of a tight bond because there's not a lot of you, right? So you get very close and connected. Sometimes as a paramedic, you come across medical professionals who view you as an equal, and they can look and see like what you do is of the same importance as what they do. That's a beautiful way of living, I think, as well as other professions. However, you do have those people who look at you as just a paramedic. And I was told that several times, not just in the ER, but in my profession. I would ask a question and their response would be, "You're just a paramedic." So that's unfortunate, because I think we should be working together. But I can say on night shift, and some day shift, there was some good day shift too. But on night shift, you didn't get that a whole lot. Everybody was viewed as a valuable portion or a part of the team. There was one physician's assistant, or PA, that I worked nights with. And I'm not going to say her name, but if she's watching this video, she'll know exactly who I'm talking about. She was always super receptive to engaging in conversation and having good information exchange. So we kind of had this thing going, because we worked together a lot, to where whenever we would finally get downtime and the chaos would go away a little bit, usually around 3 or 4 a.m., we would get together and we would exchange medical facts. It was kind of a thing that we had. So I would teach her something, she would teach me something. And it was a great form of exchange. Well, one day, it really got to me on how I was treated as a medic. And I felt like in my head, I wanted to do something more. It's not that I thought paramedic was a lesser profession, but I didn't feel like I was being challenged in where I was at and the things that I was interested in, the ways that I wanted to grow with the questions I was trying to ask. Now, I did have a paramedic instructor pull me aside whenever I was in paramedic school, and she told me that, listen, like, you know, what you do is awesome. You know, you're a great student, you're going to be a great medic, but this is not where you're going to stop. This is going to be a stepping stone. And at the time, I kind of took that as a blessing and a curse. Like, what she was saying was really sweet, and saying that she felt like I was doing a great job. That meant a lot to me. But also, a small part of me was offended in the moment of like, what do you mean this is a stepping stone? Like, I really want to do this. Well, I kind of started to understand what she meant. I hit that wall to where I was a little bored. It was always the same thing. I mean, codes and stuff like that are always intense, don't get me wrong, and I'm not lessening that, but I wanted more. And I was really frustrated, and I went to that PA that night for our conversation as usual, and we didn't really exchange medical facts. I just told her where I was at, how I was feeling, and she looked at me and she said, if there's anything I have learned It's that you are exactly where you are when you are supposed to be. And in the moment, I was like, what is that supposed to mean? Like, I heard her, don't get me wrong. I heard what she was saying, and I even understood what she was saying. But I'm like, but I don't like where I'm supposed to be right now. I don't like this space. I'm in the in-between, you know? I'm in between where I am and where I want to be, and it's really uncomfortable. But what she was saying is, you are processing things when and where you are supposed to be processing things. The more I leaned into that, the more I understood. Because whenever you are in school, for example, I talk about college a lot. Whenever you're in college, especially at the end of college, you're in like this weird in-between place to where you're about to be doing what you're trained for, and you want to get to that next thing, that next level, but you're not quite there yet. We have to be careful because we will keep looking at that next level that we're trying to get to, and we'll forget where we are. We'll forget what we're doing. The things that you are doing now are setting you up for the future. So if you spend your life looking for a cheat code on how do I get to where I want to be faster, that's not necessarily a good thing. It's like whenever somebody becomes rich overnight. You know, one day they are broke and on the ramen diet, and the next day they have billions. Well, I can tell you as a paramedic, suicide rates drastically increase. It's because you haven't gone through the process and the emotional maturity or development of what it means to have the thing. So if you just decided you wanted to be a doctor, and that's what I did. I was like, I want to do this thing. If I woke up the next day as a doctor, I would have crashed and burned. It was the process of going under fire and going through the steps and through the difficult days and through the sleepless nights that I was forged into who I am. And I feel like God does that on purpose. If you ever notice, like whenever you ask God for things, He doesn't normally just give you the thing. He gives you a way to develop the thing. Like if you ask Him for patience, He doesn't just go, patience. It doesn't work like that. Instead, He will allow you to go through situations to help you learn patience. And that's really, really tough for us. That's really tough for me. So what she told me was spot on. You are where you're supposed to be right now. There is something that you are supposed to learn in this moment right now, and that's what you need to focus on. You need to focus on, what am I learning? Am I learning how to balance a budget? Am I learning how to make no money in college work? Am I learning how to study? Am I learning how to work, how to have a job? You know, all this stuff is a learned behavior, and it's stuff that you have to work on. So if I could give you any guidance, it's, you are where you're supposed to be right now. You are learning something right now that is going to make you better later on. And time goes on, life goes on. Where you are right now, you will not get that back. So really soak it in and think about, okay, what am I learning right now? And why am I learning it? How am I applying it? Right now, I am learning how to create the life and the business that I desire to create, so that I can create a better life for myself as I go. But there's so many aspects to that. If I woke up tomorrow and I was just a successful entrepreneur, I would probably mess it up because there's a lot of things that you have to learn in that process. And I'm good with that. So wherever you are right now, I really want you to lean into, I'm where I'm supposed to be right now because there's something I am learning. And it does help, guys. It does help to write down what you are learning. I have a notebook that whenever I spend time with my Bible every day, I write down what I learned and how I processed it. And I do that with a lot of things. There is something to actually taking physical notes that helps you to process it. So I highly recommend it. So I hope this was helpful for you. I want you just to lean into where you are at. Lean into what's going on, what can I learn from this situation. If there are topics that you would like me to discuss, something that's really been on your heart, something that you're really thinking about, mulling over, leave it in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. And it's kind of cool to get some feedback from you guys. So if you can like and subscribe to this whole channel, to this video, that'd be awesome. I try to post videos about what I'm thinking about, what's going on, productivity, stuff involving college and school. I'm a martial artist, so I try to post some stuff there. So I enjoy creativity and I enjoy community. So it'd be great to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and have a blessed day.